Gervonta Davis has been preparing to get back in the ring with some of the biggest names in boxing, and Gervonta Davis has destroyed a much bigger sparring partner. Brian Norman has had the chance to spar with Gervonta Davis in the past, and when Davis was teasing a fight with Terrence Crawford, Brian gave some insight on what power Gervonta brings to the ring. Brian stated, "When I sparred with Terrence Crawford, I was 20 years old, and he tried to old man me and show me I was a boy. But even when you see him fight, he doesn't necessarily one-shot people. He beats you up, then he kills you. But as far as one-shot power and who got that, I've got to give it to Tank." While Gervonta was dealing with his legal issues, he claimed that he was being kept from being able to practice like he should have been. Gervonta stated, "This judge is stopping me from training the proper way. She want me in Maryland with my life in danger every day." Sean's had a lot of potential fights being mentioned though, and Sean O'Malley thinks that he still has a shot at making a fight against Davis. Sean stated, "I do know how to punch, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. I got a pretty decent right hand. I got a pretty good left hand. Dude, I rocked Peter Yan with the left hand, dropped Peter with my right hand, then dropped Aljamain Sterling with my right hand, so I can throw a punch or two. That fight's gonna happen someday, I swear to God, dude. When I have these feelings, like these true deep feelings like I'm gonna be world champ, I would tell anybody, look them in the eyes and tell them that, cause I knew it was gonna happen. I have that same feeling about fighting Gervonta, like it's gonna happen." Kenny Ellis thinks that Gervonta would handle him without any issues. Kenny stated, "Tank gonna whoop his in the first round. Any tiny lightweight would beat him. Tank, Shakur, Haney, all those guys would beat him cause they're boxers. All of them would knock him out. You better leave those boxers alone before you get knocked out." Leonard Ellerby seems to think that Gervonta will be facing some of the biggest names in boxing soon though. Leonard stated, "Tank will fight anybody he wants to fight because he's that big, and it doesn't have to be a belt. I can say that because he's that guy. I know firsthand, and this is from his mouth. He's going to get the guys that they say they want. He's going to get those guys. It's just a matter of time because Tank Davis isn't going anywhere. He's looking to do what he got to do. Timeline-wise, everything isn't going to happen according to everyone else's plan because that's how the business goes. I know firsthand that if the fans say they want that guy, he's going to get that guy. He's going to dictate the terms of how that does along." Gervonta Davis seems to think that Ryan Garcia was his toughest fight to date.
Do you think that's going to be your toughest fight to date?
I believe so. He's young, he's fast, he's strong, he's taller than me, he got more reach, and he's hungry. People think he's going to just be a walkover. I don't think so.
To top that off, Ryan Garcia wants a rematch under different circumstances. Ryan stated, "I learned a lot. He was the better man. I want to run that back in the future after I rack up some wins at the right weight. The right weight, 140 pounds, no rehydration clause. I did it for the people this time, but when I come back, I'm going to do it for me. I'm hungry right now. I got a new coach, a great coach, Derek James. We're going to be together." Hector Garcia seems to share the same thoughts as Ryan, and he says that the only way they'd consider a rematch would be at 140. Hector stated, "We're going to bounce back. We're going to come back at 140, and we're not going to have any conditions this time. We're going to do it as it should be. We're going to come back. The only way Ryan would do something like fighting Gervonta Davis again is if Ryan moved up to 140 and rehydrated to a normal weight. That's the only way. But right now, we did what we could." Another possibility would be a rematch against Rolly Romero, but Rolly's trainer doesn't think that Gervonta would want to make that fight. He stated he wouldn't want to do it again because he knows the dangers of it, and with him going up to being a blockbuster pay-per-view star and all that, and then you get a rematch with Rolly, that's two of your toughest fights in your whole career. Because the first fight with Rolly, he knew he would be tested. That put fear in him. And he said it. If he would have got caught by one of them punches, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Now you've got Rolly with the patience, Davis with the patience. Then it's a real chess match. So now, does he really want that smoke? Don't know. We'll have to see where the guts and the and the intangibles come in if they'll take that fight. It's easy to take a Ryan Garcia fight because you knew you were going to beat him. It's not easy to take this fight. Rolly Romero accepted what happened, but he's looking at things differently.
I mean, I accepted my defeat like a man, and that's what happens. But I mean, in reality, I won. He just closed his eyes and threw the punch. That sounds like a lucky shot to me. That's literally what he said. He just threw it. He didn't set it up. He just threw it. That sounds like a lucky shot. It sounds like I was scared. I threw, because this is what happens in boxing. Sometimes, you're so scared, you just react and throw a punch, and that's kind of what happened with him.
When Rolly analyzed Gervonta's fight with Ryan, he just knew that Gervonta was a step ahead the whole time. Rolly stated, "It was a good fight, but let's be honest. Tank's toughest opponent by far has been me. Me and him are going to run that back. I'm going to get my world title on May 13th against Ismael Barroso, and then we're going to run that back. I'll be honest with you. Tank had him from the beginning. I could see what was going on. I don't want to give too much detail, but I saw what Tank was doing, Joe Rogan thinks that Gervonta is one of the most interesting fighters out there to watch.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. He's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive, and he be cracking them dudes.
People.
Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power.
But, he just, in his mind, he know it's a matter of time before I catch.
Gervonta knows that he packs a lot of punch, and he thinks that he punches way over his weight class. Gervonta stated, "I hit like a strong cruiserweight. It's not just power, but also precision and placement. Even with the 6-round knockout of Romero, it wasn't just a power punch. I threw it well, hit it in a good place, and at the right time. It's every little thing, not just the shot thrown." Even Mike Tyson made comments on the power Gervonta brings to the ring. Tyson stated, "Tank is very comfortable fighting taller people because when he fights, he catapults himself and pushes himself in the air. So it makes it very difficult to stop his attack because it's very awkward when you're in the air. Normally you have no power. But the way in which he catapults himself, it's almost like a gun being fired. He flies right into you with every ounce of power he has. I understood them now when they say he fights like Mike Tyson, because he flies through the air, which is normally bad positioning. You have no power in the air. But for him and myself, our stoutness to the ground, as I said before, catapults us like being shot like a bow and arrow, and the force is unstoppable." Mario Barrios tried to compare Gervonta's power to Keith Thurman after being able to face both of them. Mario stated, "I hate being asked that question, but I get asked all the time. Every time people ask me, I tell them that it doesn't feel good getting cracked by anybody at that level. I will say there was only one fight where I touched the canvas, so it's sort of self-explanatory." Well, now Gervonta's been seen taking down much larger sparring partners after they called him out.
Oh! 30 seconds.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.